This is Political Prodder, Politics from Stephen Prodder, with a Monday, September 9th, 2024 analysis of paths to victory based on ad spending. Overall, I want to make one point. The source of this is MSNBC, some political blogs, left leaning, but I'd say fair, and some neutral NBC figures on ad spending that I saw late to mid last week. What they show is an incredible change in the electoral map, and President Trump is left with a very risky strategy towards victory. So here it is. For September ad budgets, right now, as of several days ago, the budget for Pennsylvania, both in visits and ad spending, was about $90 million for each candidate. Roughly equal. So what does that say? What it says is President Trump cannot win the election without Pennsylvania. And it also says he has a very narrow path to victory. Because he's not fighting it out on the ad wars anywhere else in the country. Budget for Nevada. Harris is outspending Trump between 5 to 1 and 10 to 1. Budget for Arizona, 10 to 1. Budget for Georgia, outspending Trump 10 to 1. Budget for North Carolina, outspending Trump, and all other. This is analysis of all sources of funding. North Carolina, about 5.5, 6 to 1. Michigan, outspending Trump by at least a 5 to 1 ratio. Wisconsin, outspending Trump by at least a 5 to 1 ratio. Pennsylvania, simply matching his spending at this point. Now that's likely to change because something else came in late last week was the fundraising figures for the two campaigns. Harris raised in August at least $260 million. Trump had put out a more firm figure of $130 million raised, and the Harris campaign made it clear that they had easily doubled it. So what this means is the enthusiasm gap is huge between Trump and Harris. Favorables on the candidates, we'll leave that for another blog post, YouTube channel, video, whatever you want to call it. So, path to victory for Trump is he's hoping to retain every state he won in 2020, and plus Pennsylvania. So he's planning on retaining North Carolina. If he doesn't retain North Carolina, his strategy is doomed, because it is possible for Harris to lose Pennsylvania and win all these other states we've just mentioned and still win the election easily. But right now, Trump is on a Pennsylvania-only strategy. It's matching Harris's media point for point, as going as hard at it as possible. So what does this mean for Harris? Well, it means she's going to have to send her campaign to more states. She's spending a lot of time in Georgia. She's spending time in North Carolina. It's a natural for North Carolina. It's on her way back to Washington, D.C., where she has to make her periodic appearances at the White House Situation Room with the war in Gaza continuing on. So the strategy seems to be making sense thus far. So where does that leave her? That leaves her with an ad advantage in Nevada, an enthusiasm advantage in every state, even in Pennsylvania. She's leading the polls by just under the margin of error in every swing state right now, including Pennsylvania. North Carolina is much closer than that. North Carolina is a minus 1-2% state. It doesn't seem to have a lot of undecided voters in North Carolina. So basically, what it means is Trump is betting it all on Pennsylvania. Perhaps there's a secondary strategy just to hold up certification of elections, but he's got a problem in North Carolina. He's got a problem in Georgia, which is enthusiasm of African American voters. North Carolina has a lot of African American voters. South Carolina does too, but South Carolina has a stronger conservative base. Georgia has a lot of North Carolina, not of African American voters who are enthusiastically surging toward Harris. All voter groups, undecideds, even Republican past vice presidents. Another blog. I'll do another blog on that later today. I'm going to try and get 5 blogs recorded on September 8th, meant to air every day of the week of September 9th. We'll see how that works as the debate's coming up. So Trump's strategy is bet it all on Pennsylvania. If he loses Pennsylvania or he falls too far behind in Pennsylvania, he's out. He loses the election. There are combinations that he can take that will make up for Pennsylvania. It's only 19 electoral votes, but right now he's not got a solid lead in enough states to live without Pennsylvania. So he's putting all of his money and as much of his time as he can allocate into Pennsylvania. He's using J.D. Vance in Pennsylvania. And we're going to talk about vice presidential candidates, I think, on Tuesday's blog leading up to the debate. But that is the opinion of political Prater here on ad spending. If the ad spending is any measure of the election, Harris is on a path toward victory. She can call herself the underdog all she wants. She has many paths to victory. She can lose Pennsylvania and several other states and still get past 270 electoral votes. And that is still not taking into account the erosion of Republican support in Texas and Florida, which conceivably could get worse. But that's another strategy. This is the ad strategy blog. If you like this content, please like it, share it with your friends. If you don't like this content, please make comments. Make comments either way. I got facts behind me. Some of them are just in my head as I sweep through my daytime IT job with politics playing in the background. But I've got good fundamental facts. The polls I'm based on are high quality A-class polls, when I mention polls. And the cumulative polls and the outlying polls on both sides are not ignored. There seems to be a lot more outlier polls on the Republican side. But the other thing about the Republicans is Trump's still in the 2020 election his voters underreported. So again, if you like this video, please press like. If you want to notify every time I publish, which will be hopefully 5 times this week, plus little videos to promote a little bit, that's cool. And we'll press the notify button, and everything I publish on this channel will come into your box. But please share with your friends. This is a underground kind of channel. I'm not beholden to anybody. I'm not officially endorsing anybody, although I clearly don't like Donald Trump. So let's see what we can do about getting us past 10 subscribers. My wife has far too much influence over this channel right now. Thank you.